Hi guys, my name is Maranatha Abuto, and on today's show, Rave with Mara, we will be talking about something that is quite common, especially for us women. If you are a Nigerian woman or an African woman and you're in your late 20s and you're approaching 30, then this topic is not all too new to you. So what we're talking about today is before I do. And I know, hear me out. I know that with a lot of relationship coach, people find it somewhat disrespectful or rude when you're unmarried and you want to speak on this topic. But I assure you that I am saying this from things I have learned, things I have picked up from people's lives, and things that I can confidently tell you that are the reasons why people end up getting divorced after getting married. We will get a jump into this conversation when we come back from a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Like I said before, most of my friends are approaching 30, and that fear of uncertainty, that fear of, oh my God, am I truly going to wither? Am I wasting away if I am turning this age and I do not have a husband? And quite frankly, I am still broke and single. And this also applies to me as well, right? I feel like society will continue to judge us if and why we do not end up getting married at 30. And I know it's a fear that even though we like to say, oh, don't worry about the pressure, society will always say what I want to say. But this is one fear that I think that no matter how much you try to run away from it, it will keep staring at you in the face if you don't deal with it internally. And so today I'm here to tell you that rather than getting or allowing the pressure of people telling you that you are approaching 30 or you're over 30 and you're not yet married, there are certain things that you need to put into place or discuss with your partners before you can actually say, yeah, let's get married. And one of the first things that I think that a lot of couples downplay is finance. I know that I have said this thing on one of the episodes previously where I said that when women want to marry, one of the first things that they consider in the choice of their life partner is the financial stability that getting married presents. But I don't even mean it in that regard. I mean it from, I think that when people want to get married, it's okay to say, oh, I'm not well off, or I don't have millions or billions in my account and I want to get married. Your partner, your female partner, can also be in that same space and you guys can decide to get married. But the conversations around your finance that is very, very important that I think that a lot of couples miss out on is the fact that either of them don't have plans for the future. So with finance, it's one thing to say, oh, my partner has money, or my partner is doing so and so. I know my partner is doing, he's earning money. It's another thing to say, okay, how much of this money that he or she is earning monthly goes into feeding? How much of this money that he or she is earning is going into skincare, beauty, clothing, savings, and how much of that money is also going back home? But if you don't figure your finances out and you say that because of pressure you think your husband or your wife is doing comfortably well because they live in a large house, for all you know that house might not even be completely paid for. It might be a loan, it might be, I don't know, but like you need to be able to understand where both of you stand on your finance and how much of your money you can both confidently put away at the end of the month. If you don't understand how much is coming in or how much is going out, I don't think that you should be considering getting married, which is the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about today is children. So I see that I personally, I've had this conversation with one of my partners in the past where we stumbled on this conversation, right? And I said, oh wait, you do love children. I think I like children, but how many children you think you want to have in your future? And this person goes to say 9. And it made me laugh so much. But when we started to talk about it, I realized that this wasn't a joke for him. This is something that he actively wanted, because his mother gave birth to 11 children. He thinks that a large family, which there is nothing wrong with that, right? There are a lot of people who think that having a large family does a lot for them. He creates a lot of family value and whatnot. But I personally is not something I believe in. I believe in a small family. And I knew from having that conversation with him that this was something that we were never going to get compromised on. Because if I end up with this kind of person, I know that if something happens in the future, God forbid, and I am unable to birth children, it's going to be a problem. And so when you don't have conversations as to how many children do you want in the future, does the sex of the children actually matter? Would you go and take another wife or impregnate somebody else if I give you only female children? How would you feel if I'm only able to birth male children? What would happen if I'm only able to give birth to one child, and at the end of the day I have complications and I can't? You need to discuss these things. We say love conquers all, which is not a lie, right? But there are some situations that you get to deal with that you realize that beyond love, you need so many other things like sacrifice, understanding, and commitment. If at the end of the day the steam of your relationship wanes off, I know we like to say no, attraction matters, but attraction is okay to get started on a relationship. But I'm telling you that that attraction is not what will keep your marriage long term. And I'm saying this not because this is what I think, but this is what a lot of couples out there would tell you, that attraction is there because at the end of the day, you don't want to be with somebody who you can't allow to touch you, right? But when the attraction and the steam wanes off, what else do you have with this person? Do you guys have core values as human beings that align? And I've said it a couple of times where I say that couples can be opposites of each other, like completely polar opposites of, oh, I like to read, I don't like to read. I like football, I don't like football. But your core values, the things that you believe in, do you align with your finances? Do you align in your family values? Do you align in what you think your ideas about life? Do you align? So if you've not had this conversation with your partners, I don't think that you should go ahead and say that you do. The other thing on the list is, I know that we like to think that women are better caregivers or better at parenting children, in the home and whatnot. If you haven't discussed this thing with your partner, I don't think it is okay to assume that the female partner is going to want to stay at home, full time once you guys get married and give birth to children. I remember in 2019, I was seeing somebody, and this person blatantly told me, oh, I see that you are working in an office, you like to work in an office, but when we get married, I would want you to actually stay back home. I think I would be able to cater to the family. And it sounded so bizarre to me. And it was one of the strongest reasons why I knew in my heart and soul that no matter the love that I think I have for this person, this is not something I am going to be able to compromise on. For a marriage to work, the two parties have to be able to work together, meaning that they have to learn to compromise for each other. But in compromising to make a marriage work, you have to also realize what your non-negotiables are and what your negotiables are. But if you're with a person who says, I don't want to give birth to children at all, and you think that when you get married, that person's mindset is going to change because you're going to make her see how much of a blessing having children is, you are definitely setting yourself up for failure already. There's a story of a man, I was told around 2018, who was at a hospital and he fell sick. This sickness was terminal. And if you're going to go home with this man, at the end of the day, your entire life is going to have to revolve around that man's sickness or that woman's sickness. For that person, the woman ended up living, and a lot of people shamed her for it. And I can understand why, right? But I can also understand why the man was also feeling sad, or sad, not even feeling, was sad, because it's like, I love you. You say you love me, but because I'm sick, you don't think that the love that we have for each other can conquer this sickness. So you leave me, which is what something I think that couples don't discuss enough, right? It seems like, oh wait, why are you bringing up all these questions for? Who wants to get sick long term? Why? But these things are happening. You find that couples who just got married within 1 year, one of them just gets terminally ill, and there is no hope that this person is going to be fine. What are you going to do then? So I think that these are things that you should be able to discuss. Would you say that you love your partner enough to want to stay with your partner in sickness and in health? Because yes, it is in your vow. And again, marriage is a covenant that you have vowed to be with this person. But if you think that lust or a lack of communication or just the finances that you people share is going to keep you together, marriage will test you in every possible way. If you don't have anything to discuss with your partners, then getting married would make you see the reality of what that impossible choice that you have made is going to look like long term. Apostle Paul knew what he said in 1 Corinthians 7, verse 8, when he was saying that if you want to be like him, meaning you want to stay unmarried, you can. But he did it because he knew that no matter, see, he spoke so much about marriage that you would think that because of the lots that he knows about marriage, he'll be among the first persons that would jump at it. But he's saying that I know what it takes to be married, and I have chosen not to be married. But if you want to be married, you feel like you cannot control yourself, then it is better for you to marry than to burn your passion. I am an advocate of marriage. I want everybody to be married, have happiness and whatnot. But if you're choosing marriage at the detriment of what you truly want, or you truly think that it is the right person or the right thing for you to do because you're feeling pressured, I'm telling you again that wherever that pressure is coming from your society, from your parents, from your siblings, from your friends, at the end of the day, it is you who is going to be in that marriage. So please, I beg you, before you say I do, or before you think, oh, 30 is the age that no Nigerian woman should ever attain unmarried, or no matter the accomplishment that you have, if you're unmarried at 30 or you're above 30 and you're unmarried, then your life is already going down the wrong path. Which, to be fair, I get the argument that once a woman is above 30, her chances of giving birth or having viable eggs to be fertilized gets to dwindle. Yes, I get that. But if you think that childbirth is what you want, there is a safe option of freezing your eggs. And I think I see this often and often again, that people think that freezing of eggs is one thing, that you're walking into the beer parlor to go and take beer or something. It is a lot more complicated than that. But yes, if you are approaching 30 and you think that part of the pressure you're putting upon yourself is, oh, I want to give birth to children, or I want to grow with these children, which is more important to you? To get married to somebody that you know you're going to end up getting divorced from, or to have a child at the end of the day with somebody that you know both of you are going to be well invested into that the life of that child? So again and again, I say that when people choose to give birth to children as a couple, think about the children you're giving birth to. Not just, oh, I want to procreate. God has said, go into the world and procreate or multiply. It is a very selfish thing to do when you think that you can have a child with a person that is wrong for you in every way. The person is wrong for you. You think that is the correct thing for you to do. Then I'm telling you that you're wasting your time. So again, before you say I do, discuss the issue of your finance. If both of you are working, does your partner expect you to drop certain amount of money for the house or for household budgeting at the end of the month? How much of that, your percentage of your money should go into that? Do you think about owning a house together? How many children do you want to have in the future? If you something happens to you in the future and you're unable to, how would he react? If either of you gets sick in the future, would you stay? you know if you have issues with yourself, how are you going to resolve them? Are you going to keep involving family? And how, very very important, I think that now we say, oh, it is a man you're getting married to, it is a woman you're getting married to. What their parents say doesn't matter. But I think that a lot of the baggages that people come into a relationship or into a marriage with is as a result of their upbringing, and also as a result of the kind of relationships they've had in the past. So it's almost a stupid idea when people say, I don't care about your past, I don't care where you're coming from. I'm telling you that where a person is coming from gives you a lot more information about this person and what to expect from this person. Nobody is 100% complete, and nobody is 100% each other's spec of what they are looking for. But on that list of, things that person is coming with, have you healed enough from your past? Have you healed enough from your childhood upbringing? If your partner has not, then you know, or they say that they have, but from conversing with them, you can tell that, oh, there are certain baggages from their background that is still showcasing their head at intervals. You know that that is something you may have to deal with for the rest of your life. Is that something you can deal with as a partner? How is our relationship with their parents? Is the mother a little bit somehow? Is the father an alcoholic? Are the siblings fraudsters or armed robbers? Because no matter how much you think that you can keep your life separated away from your partner's families, it is always going to come into play. And then what would you do in those instances where she is fighting with her family members, or they come to your house at the middle of the night? Are you what is your stand on that going to be? It's not the one that one day you wake up and you tell your wife that, I lent your brother some money, and your wife is looking at you like, I don't understand, why did you lend my brother money? My brother is so and so. But if you say you're getting married to a person, you need to know every little detail about this person. You need to know about the time that their hearts got broken, the time they were the most happiest, the time that things started to turn downhill in their family. What's happened at certain points in their life that may rear its ugly head in the future. Because if you're saying that you're going to spend your future with this person, you need to know every little thing and discuss all of this. So if you have a partner right now and you're thinking, oh, we need to get married and we've set a date and whatnot, and you haven't discussed this, I'm telling you that you need to go and add more months or more weeks to that deadline you've set, so you can understand some of these things. So at the end of the day, you don't run into, oh, we're getting divorced, oh, there's no more love and whatnot. It's not that there was no more love. What attracts a person to another for the first instance is attraction, right? You're lusting after this person, or you think, oh, I like how this person is carrying themselves, I like how they speak, I like what they are able, but you don't know this person. But in trying to build a relationship with this person is where you get to speak, communicate with your partners in a way that you are learning about each other. It's not just about the sex or the steam or the whatever. If you are not communicating with this person to understand their background, where they are coming from, the baggages and trauma that they may have been dealing with for the whole of their life. Sometimes it's not just what the person says, right? You can tell from your partner's reaction how a certain person makes them feel, or how a certain situation makes them feel. If you get to that point with your partner, then I can tell you that yes, you can say I do. But if you don't know jack about this person, and you only think that you know them from what they tell you, or the peripheral of what you're seeing now, then I'm telling you that you are not ready. So before you say I do, learn to discuss all of these problems. Learn to discuss everything, no matter how mundane you think it is. Because if you do not, in marriage, you can't run away from these conversations. Date night is not going to save you from those conversations. Neither is steamy hot sex going to save you from this conversation. So thank you so much, you guys, for listening to today's episode. I hope that you're sharing my content. If you haven't subscribed, please, I beg you, do that now. Thank you and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.